still shaving. Ah! Is it still bleeding? How can it be bleeding still? I got a show to make. How can it still be bleeding? How can it still be bleeding?
Stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. Count 'em off.
There'd be a tombstone every mile. Yeah, let's talk about the weather today in BC and everywhere else. Joey only here for Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. It's so sunny I've had to close my curtains to film today, Wednesday. It's crazy everywhere. It's crazy everywhere. That's what it is. Everywhere. So pretty much all of North America right now is cold. That's a matter of fact. In fact, over the last few days, almost every place in the United States, every state, every region has had winter weather-related warnings of some kind, whether they're severe thunderstorms on the very far east, because Florida happens to be the one area that's warm, Florida, Georgia, so there's potential where the clash is meeting at the jet stream there to create some thunderstorm activity. There's been crazy weather in Texas and Oklahoma and all those places down there, and you know that jet stream being swooped so down low when it starts to come up is going to produce tornado weather for those people sometime in the near future. So the story isn't done, even if the snow is stopping down there. It's cold everywhere. Look at this report from CNN on the weather in Texas.
Here in Texas, residents are experiencing some of the worst winter weather of their lives. 2 major storms hitting the state in the last 5 days, and another one on the way.
I've been here for about 30 years and I ain't never seen nothing like this.
All of the largest cities in Texas have been hammered by snow and ice.
I've been here 30 years, never seen nothing.
The snow and icy roads have caused more than 130 traffic accidents on Sunday night alone in Houston.
130 traffic accidents. Can you imagine? It's just like all these people in Dallas, Texas, that are like fucking armed to the tits and road raging in the snow and shooting each other.
It's not just the overpasses and the bridges, it's every street, every road in this crisis that is dangerous. So I want to encourage people to stay home, to stay off the road.
In El Paso, this car pileup left tractor trailers overturned. In Oklahoma, roads are hardly visible, covered with snow and ice. These tractor trailers collided, sparking a dangerous fire on an Oklahoma highway. Oklahoma City has gone a record 5 days with temperatures below 20 degrees. The state could see up to 12 inches of snow by Tuesday. And over the weekend, Washington and Oregon saw huge amounts of snowfall. Seattle saw a record-breaking 11 inches. Truckers have been stranded for days in Oregon trying to dig out from the snow.
America is under attack.
You're like, hey man, like, climate change isn't real because it's like snowing here.
Just like the guy who was at the end of the Titanic and he's like on the bow, you know, and it's like 300 feet up in the air and he's like, the ship's not sinking, I'm 300 feet in the air. Anyways, let's talk about BC's weather now. So we do have a break here on Wednesday before this strong low in the Gulf of Alaska starts pushing snow into the coastal mountains. You see some is breaking into the interior mountains, though the plateau itself isn't getting a whole lot of that. The big system that's coming this weekend is going to be the story, and you can get the sense of it that this elevator and escalator, this long line of moisture, this tropical express, the pineapple express, the Hawaiian, it's coming all the way up, and it's finally found this pathway up over that persistent high pressure system that lives off the coast of California. So Sundays looks to be really strong for the coast mountains. You can guarantee there's going to be big snow. If our avalanche conditions have been okay for now, but that will change over the weekend as more snow comes. And this is a pattern that's going to stick around for a while. I don't see the cold beating us back again anytime soon. Just another look at that Pineapple Express. It's like from the Philippines all the way to British Columbia by the time we look at Sunday. Coastal BC, low pressure coming on in today. That's right. And the wind warnings have already gone up. Let's check out the battle board today. Just along the coast, Haida Gwaii, winds as high as 110 kilometers an hour. Ooh, gonna be a windy one as this comes in tonight. So winter is just hammering all over the northern hemisphere, all over the world. I mean, this isn't, I hear my cat falling upstairs or something. This isn't unique to Canada at all right now. I mean, places like Saudi Arabia have been getting hammered, Russia, Egypt even, the Sinai, Europe, now all the United States. Look at these people, down in the southern part of Texas enjoying themselves. So people down in the United States, there was at one point 3 million without power, ice storms, snowstorms, everything all at once. And the cold, people are actually freezing to death. If you have a chance, get on YouTube and look up the channel Weather Events. That's a channel I like to watch every day because every day they post the craziest stuff that's going on all over the world. Like, you had a bad snowstorm? Oh, boo-hoo. Check this one out in Russia.
Тут, наверное, вообще вон крыша. Вон 2 машины бульки идут.
It's nothing new. We're Canadians. We're tough. Yeah, you ever try eating regularly out in minus 20?
So it is feels like minus 33 out, and EPS has just kicked everybody that was taking shelter and food and clothing from the Bear Clan. And EPS has just come and kicked everybody out of the warmth and sent them eating outside. Wow, they can't even stand here?
So there you have people in Edmonton afraid to go to the shelters because of COVID and totally underfunded by the Alberta government as a matter of political principle. And then you have these poor cops who have to enforce these totally unjust laws, and you have these poor people who have nowhere to go to get warm when it's minus 25 out or something to that effect.
Here's Judith Gale.
I believe police are needed, but they are not needed in a community situation where community is taking care of community. All we were doing was feeding our brothers and sisters in the cold. And not only did they kick them out, but they also took food out of their hands and threw it in the garbage.
It's the winter time. It's a matter of life and death. Now, what I don't understand is if you have all these people who are freezing to death on the streets and cold and in danger of getting frostbite, that is seen as like, well, that's your problem. You made your choices in life. But if a guy goes and snowmobiles up to a cornice and falls down a mountain, well, hey, we'll organize all kinds of search and rescue and everything for you. It says here, Penner also lost a friend in a snowslide a few years ago. What? After I lose a friend to something, I think double hard about it when I do it again. When Todd Sirius fell mountain climbing, I thought about ropes and climbing and harnesses and techniques a lot after that. Do you know what a cornice is? It's a big slab of snow that hangs over top of the mountain, right? And if you go and stand on that, it's probably going to break. It could break. The thing is, you have to know from your own judgment where these things might be and not go stand there. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. It's just the injustice of it all. If you're freezing to death in downtown Edmonton, you can't even go into the mall because of COVID safety. You can have to go freeze to death outside actually instead. But hey, if you make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again in the mountains, we'll send a helicopter! The beautiful view, you sometimes have to know to stand a little further back to accept it. Not safe. But hey, that's okay. That guy makes his mistake. Well, here's some young guys. What do? They go and wander up Grouse Mountain, and they call them hikers, which I think is kind of unfair to hikers. I would call it attempted hiking. These attempted hikers got, maybe 1,000 feet up the mountain, wandered off the trail, fell down a ravine and got lost, and needed to call for help somehow. And it's like, I'm not trying to make fun of you kids, but honestly, like, if we can't help our homeless, why are we so willing to help you? I'm sorry if I've made fun of you for getting lost or messing up in the woods out there. Really, I'm not trying to. So it said, experts warn British Columbians to be prepared out there in the mountains. You need a friggin' expert for that? The two men weren't wearing appropriate footwear. They just went out and got off the trail and got lost. The hikers used one of their phones to make a 911 call, but could not be called back because they didn't have a cell phone plan. They were located quickly, though, by the phone's location. Now, I'm not trying to tell you not to call for help, and I'm not trying to tell you not to go and enjoy yourself in the wilderness, and I'm not trying to tell you not to have fun. I'm just trying to tell you, be safe and smart. Right now, avalanche conditions aren't too bad in British Columbia, but with all the snow coming, you know there's going to be a little bit worse in the weeks ahead. So that time period, there's like always this sort of segment of time where the avalanche potential is the worst. And sometimes it's only 2 or 3 or 4 days, and that's just the time to stay off all of it if you know better, or to be very choosy about your route finding. What is it that I ultimately want? I want every single last person safe, warm, fed, taken care of. If they need help, help is there. If you are lost, you will be found. If you are cold, you will be made warm. If you are wet, someone will dry you. That's what I want to see. I'm sorry for making fun of you out there, folks, but ultimately what I want to do is get the idea into people's heads with a little bit of comedy maybe, about how to be safe, the kinds of things not to do, the kinds of things that are going on out there, the kinds of things our weather can do to us and how it can affect us. The weather is serious, man. It can destroy you. Anyways, that's today's show. More on the snow will be tomorrow because I'm sure there'll be some weather statements with all this, and some weather stories, of course, with all this beautiful wind hammering the coast again. We'll see you next time, friends.